What's up, boys? Welcome back to the Hog Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Antonio Chiquilla. This is episode number 21. Getting directly into things. 27-18 final from Lambeau Field. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I think it was just an utter domination by Green Bay. What a job from the defensive coordinator, from Jeff Hafley, getting these guys coached up. He did an incredible job. Micah Parsons was wreaking havoc on our offensive line, and when you have the ability to only rush 4 and get that type of pressure throughout the game, you're going to have a lot of problems, guys. So that's kind of what happened there. We tried the chips, we tried switching the matchups, and we tried doing everything we could, but Micah Parsons on a snap count, when he does that much damage on a snap count with a hurt back, I mean, that's just crazy. Jerry Jones did an absolute favor for the Green Bay Packers, giving them up, giving the Kenny Clark trade. That was insane. The Packers obviously won that trade. Micah Parsons is on pace to be a Hall of Famer. This defense, they were swarming to the ball, and they looked very good. They had all eyes on Jayden Daniels. They were making sure that there were no outs for him. Running that zone coverage, all eyes were on him. It was just... I don't even think Jayden Daniels had a bad game. I give credit to that Packers defense. They look good. I think they look like top 5 in the league right now. They look insanely good. That secondary, they looked great. They looked great. Valentine, Keyshawn Nixon, those guys did a really good job on just keeping everything in front of them. And us not having the ability to be able to have that deep threat in Terry McLaurin, who I feel like we should have got involved in the game early and often, which did not happen. But yeah, it's a tough one. But I wanted to continue to talk about this Packers defense. Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper were swarming the ball. Dude, these guys are quick, they're fast, they can get to the ball. All hands on deck it was all hands on deck performance by the Packers defense. So great job from them. And then I also wanted to talk about the Packers offense. The O-line did an incredible job on protecting Jordan Love. This guy had clean pockets all night, and it showed. When you have clean pockets, Jordan Love, one of the best pocket passers in the league, he tore us up. 292 through the air, 2 touchdowns, no picks, no pressure, no problem from Jordan Love. Josh Jacobs did his thing. I thought that we held him in check. But do you really think that 84 yards and a touchdown with almost 4 yards per carry is held in check? I don't know, but that's what happened there. LaFleur had perfect play calls, the game management, the time management, everything was on point with Matt LaFleur and his boys. They were better than us last night. But it's a long season, guys. We're 1-1, all right? Let's not get discouraged. This could be one of the best teams in the NFL this year. It's a very long season. So we're going to have to get this figured out because we have a lot of things that I want to cover later in this episode. But now I wanted to talk about our defense. We have trouble, if you guys don't really know, but we have trouble covering against these elite pass catchers. Tucker Kraft, he looked like Rob Gronkowski last night. 124 yards on only 6 receptions and a touchdown. What a game from Tucker Kraft. And I knew going into this game we were going to have problems covering the tight end. We've had problems with it for the past couple of years. But, we moved forward. Marshawn Lattimore didn't really play too well last night. And it showed. Multiple penalties from him. And this was largely due to the lack of pressure. I mean, the lack of pressure last night from the D-line, it didn't look good last night. And obviously Jordan Love having those clean pockets, it cost us big time last night. But it was just lifeless, honestly. They kind of just beat us down, and I think it goes to show how good that they played. I'm not a delusional fan. You guys know this. But they played great. They had an incredible game. The Commanders' offense, right? I don't pin any of this on JD5. I think that you have to give more credit to the Packers defense and what they did. He had nowhere to go. He looked like a deer in headlights at times. He really just had nowhere to go. They had all eyes on deck on JD5. Terry wasn't involved. I said we got to get him involved early and often, but us not being able to get that protection to be able to open up the playbook, because you have to deal with Micah Parsons, then being able to rush forward, get in the back. It was just not a good showing. But guys, last year was a slow start as well. we had a slow start last year. We started off 1-1 last year. I think we lost to our season opener to the Buccaneers, and then we beat the Giants. So, guys, it's a long season, guys. Let's be real. A lot of this. Oh yeah, I got to touch upon that. The O-line play was not too good last night, and I think it just was really bad. We couldn't run the football as well, and that's going to be a problem as well that I'm going to get into. But kind of not singling out, but Josh Connerly Jr., his first 2 starts, it was a tough night last night for him at the office. He had 56 pass pro snaps, and he gave up 9 pressures, 5 hurries, 3 sacks, and 1 QB hit. Oh my gosh, oh my dude, that is a rough night. But the new running back depth chart, right? With Austin Ekeler going down with that Achilles injury, he's going to be out for the rest of the year. And that's going to be another thing that we're going to have to take care of, is that we couldn't really run the football last night. We couldn't get it going. And now I think the depth chart's going to go Bill, Jeremy McNichols, and Chris Rodriguez. Those 2 are probably interchangeable, but we might have to make a move before the trade deadline, guys. We might have to make a move before the trade deadline. You know, a couple free agents that I was looking at, I know, like, y'all can get your laughs out, but Zeke's in the market. Cam Akers is a free agent. Donta Foreman, these are all veteran guys who have been in different systems. Maybe we can bring one of those guys in. And I think that the really only bright spots last night on this offense were Deebo Samuel and Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz, obviously being that grizzled vet, has more years on Deebo, and I think it showed last night. A great game from Zach Ertz. He's been very, very solid for us ever since we got him. So, and then the last but not least, we got to talk about the special teams. Unlucky last night from Matt Gay, missed 2 field goals, and from 50-plus yards. Last season, he was just 3-9. So that's going to be another developing story. And the other injury that I wanted to talk about, the last developing story that I'm going to cover, is going to be Deatrich Wise. He actually had a season-ending injury last night, and that sucks because that's going to be a big hit, because right when he got out of the game, we were having trouble getting to Jordan Love and having these explosive plays on the D-line. And so Eddie Goldman and some of these other guys are going to have to step up. So that's going to be important for us. But that's all the notes that I got for today that I took. But guys, it's a long season, all right? We started 1-1 last year. It's good that we got the division win against the Giants. And I think it's a long season. We got the Raiders coming up to town against us, and we'll see how we perform against them. I have us winning that game. And it was a tough showing last night, but I don't think that goes to show. I still got faith in JD5. I still got faith in this offense, obviously, with losing Austin Ekeler and losing Deatrich Wise. But, it's going to be tough sledding. So we'll see what's going to happen. Obviously, shit happens. It's the NFL. People could have bad games here. Next week, they could bounce back. It's just the NFL, guys. So, last thing that I wanted to cover, Maryland is off to a good start, 2-0. They play Towson this Saturday. We should be 3-0 after this game against Towson, and I'm excited to see what these boys can bring this season. And I'm really excited. So that's all I got for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for the likes, the follows, the subscriptions. Like and subscribe to the Hog Talk. I appreciate you guys. Make sure to follow the TikTok as well. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.